What are you titling your shows? You're just numbering them? So Joe Hogan.
Okay, alright.
Oh! Do we want to go to the live show room or just... Shit fucking hurts. I can't hear you, by the way, if you can hear me. I don't know. Only wants a cracker.
Listen, let me not lie to you, I promise.
Alright, we've heard enough of the shitty intro music. Alright, welcome to the 21st edition of the AVC show. I'm none other than Angry Vegan Cyclist. And today we have Alcoholic Gaming here to roll us into the first couple of topics. Because he's more interested about it than I am, and he's here to convince me of why it's important. So, how are you doing today, AG?
Kind of disappointed I didn't get fucked in the butt.
Oh. Sounds like a skill issue, bro. You need to work on the pheromones, the man-to-man riz.
Well, let's cut the bullshit. Let's just drive straight to the topics.
Okay, then. All right. So our first topic is, I guess, so on the 22nd, there's the missing Titanic sub crew killed after catastrophic implosion. Written by a bunch of fucking soy on CNN. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 authors of this article. So it's properly fact-checked. It's fucking reliable and I guess approved. It's got all the it's got the blue, the red, the gray, the rainbow check mark, all of the fucking approval. Completely verified news source. So I guess, do you want to preface before I just start reading?
I I guess. So what's important here is not the sub going missing or the sub imploding. That's not what's important. What's important is that the Coast Guard, the Navy, and the Air Force, and a bunch of other countries just kind of continued to do this wide open search, and it was all over the news for a good little while, so that you weren't focusing on the Trump trial, the Biden the Biden case, and any other actually important things going on in the world right now. And it worked. No one's talking about it. No one's talking about how Hunter Biden just got a slap on the wrist, and not even a slap on the. He got a pat on the shoulder. Is what he really got. The Coast Guard.
Come on, man. Come on, Hunter. You can drop the crack. Just you can do it, man. Just
The Coast
don't
Guard
worry about
picked
it.
up an implosion sound the same day that they called in the sub going missing. They heard it implode. There is another article I may have sent to you from a movie director who also knew that the sub imploded with acoustic sounds that they picked up. He's the same one that directed the Titanic, weirdly enough. But
You mean like a sound engineer?
that's really all I gotta say. No, he directed the Titanic movie and the Avatar movies. That's really it. It was all no, well, you can't say it was a hoax because it actually happened, but it was all one big giant thing to distract you from Hunter Biden and Trump being taken to court. That's the main takeaway. And if you want to go into the article, you can.
Do you want to go through the article?
Here, you go through the article. I'm gonna find that one where the director said that he knew the same day that the sub imploded. Pretty sure I sent it to you.
Okay. All right. So, so the article starts with what we covered here. I guess a summation because, y'all's fucking attention span's way too damn short. Quote, catastrophic implosion. The Titanic-bound submersible that went missing on Sunday with 5 people on board suffered a catastrophic implosion, killing everyone aboard. U.S. Coast Guard Rear Admiral John Mauger said to Thursday. A remotely operated vehicle found the tail cone of the Titan about 1,600 feet away from the bow of the shipwreck, he said. Who was on board? Hamish Harding, Paul Henry Narjolet, Shahzada Dawood, and his son Suleiman Dawood, and Stockton Rush, the CEO of the tour organizer Ocean Gate Expeditions, died in the craft. About the trip. The submersible was descending to explore the wreckage of the luxury liner located 900 miles east of Cape Cod and about 13,000 feet below sea level. So, Titanic director worries the implosion will... hold on, are these just new... Oh, okay, so CNN's doing like a... Like, they're not just doing one report, they're lining up the
James
different
Cameron.
reports.
You could type into Google James Cameron. I don't have the fucking article.
Okay, so so CNN is like they're stepping up their game. So there's a topic, and then they have like all of the report. They compile all the reports related to it from CNN. So
read that. Go back up.
Okay.
James, no, go down. Titanic director says, "Come as a surprise."
Yes, Mr. James Cameron here.
No, there's a video of him talking about how he knew that the sub imploded because he had audio on it.
Okay.
From buoys that detect sounds underwater. He's a big fucking underwater nerd. And he told the fucking Coast Guard. And he also told different news outlets. And these articles didn't come out till after the news cycle had its day with it.
Well, I guess we'll just start with the latest one. 4:42 a.m. Central Eastern Standard Time, June 23rd, 2023. Quote, Titanic director James Cameron worries implosion will have a negative impact on citizen explorers. Film director James Cameron said Thursday he's worried that the Titan's submersible implosion will have a negative impact on citizen explorers. What the fuck does that mean? Subquote, these are serious people with serious curiosity willing to put serious money down to go to these interesting places, the Titanic director told CNN's Anderson Cooper. Quote, I don't want to discourage that, but I think it's almost now a lesson. The takeaway is make sure if you're going to go into a vehicle, whether it's an aircraft or surface craft or submersible, that it's been through certifying agencies. Wow, very original idea there, Mr. Cameron. Some background. Stockton Rush, the CEO of OceanGate Expeditions, which operated the Titan submersible and who died in the implosion, had spoken about his antipathy to regulations. God damn it. At some point, safety is just pure waste, Stockton told journalist David Pogue in an interview last year. Quote, I mean, if you just want to be safe, just don't get out of bed. Don't get in your car. Don't do anything. So where's the original? Is this all the fucking article is? That's not really doing it justice. So that's kind of sketch. So, okay, so by the way, just real quick observation I made. So the CNN, they realize how little time people spend actually reading the articles. So they just do like little like snippets. Basically like headline and a few sub-headlines. And then they just compile them all into like one topic, which is the crushed, the so-called imploded submarine. And that went down, what, like 2-3 days ago? So, yeah. I don't know. I just thought that's kind of sus. I don't know what you guys think. But they're just feeding into like the continually shortening attention span of the human race as we progress into the future. So, yeah. It's obviously not a complete distraction, but clearly it was. I'm willing to trust my AG more than the fucking news at this point. Okay, what is a Coast Guard? What is the Coast Guard saying about this?
They also Coast Guard also came out and said that they had no knowledge that the sub
Oh, fucking bullshit.
before, even though James Cameron told them.
Bullshit.
Open my fucking door.
Oh, I'm hungry. Oh, here's a good piece. Okay. Published 12:47 a.m. Eastern Time. U.S. quote, U.S. Navy detected implosion on Sunday and relayed information to search efforts, official says.
See? Navy, Coast Guard, whatever. They're all fucking Fed boys. Can't trust a single one of
them. They're all literally in the fucking government dollar. Like, they're just doing work, I guess. Or at least looking like it. Okay, so the 23rd was a Friday. So they're talking about Sunday. So that's the previous Sunday, which is June 18th. If I recall, if I'm looking at the calendar correctly. So they knew about it for almost an entire week, a work week. Just to I suppose just to distract us from the the Trump and Biden trial. Or Hunter Biden. And the Trump trial. Yeah. So the news understands how scrutinized they are. There's a clear distinction between like the bootlickers, like I guess like CNN or the quote unquote official news sources. They have to at least put on some bit of a facade of being unbiased. And if you actually read through the entire article, again, which most people don't, they just look at the headline, they come to a conclusion, and they just go with it. There's a lot of regulations. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of eyeballs looking through the article. So they really polish. They make sure they dot all their T's and cross all their I's. I guess I gotta deliberately, maybe that's a Freudian slip. I guess I'll say it again deliberately this time, dotting T's and crossing I's, ironically, to at least officially, again, if from beginning to end in the entirety of the report, they are giving more often than not unbiased information. But of course, the headline is what really counts almost more than the article itself, because again, what percentage of people actually read the shit? So that's actually how this quasi propaganda works. So, yeah. Now, I think it's a bit of a bridge to build to say that, okay, well, the Coast Guard is coordinated with the deep state, which is coordinated to keep Hunter Biden, his ass covered, because he's Joe Biden's son, even though Joe Biden's like kind of on his way out. And what uses Hunter Biden? He's just kind of like a fucking royal family member at this point.
He funnels all of his money through China.
But
he's going to court for having millions of dollars. He's going to court for tax promises. He wasn't paying his taxes. He's got millions of dollars coming from China.
Okay, now
he's literally funneling.
With all due respect, and I'm not a fan of the Bidens either. Literally, like tax evasion charges are like that's like the state. That's how they got Al Capone. So Al Capone, he's guilty of all kinds of shit. He's a fucking mafia boss. But at the same time, he got away so long because he offered a good quid pro quo in exchange for whatever shady shit he made his mafia boys do. So in the end, they got him with this like tax evasion charge because there's nothing else to get him with. He cleaned his foot tracks.
Cancer or whatever.
Well, and then he died of like some kind of health problem.
He died because he was fucking a prostitute and it was so good it made him retarded. And then
he got a brain-eating STD, right?
Yeah.
Oh man. Male privilege, right? Anyway, I think before reading the article, what I think what happened is that I guess some Republican lawmakers they tried to get together to hit him with a punitive charge because again, Hunter Biden's Joe Biden's son. How are you going to dethrone the prince whenever they're on the throne? Well, you can't. You try to do it from ragtag bottom up journalism. It just gets squashed. It gets censored and dismissed as like misinformation. So then you have to audit the shit out of it, just like how they're doing to Trump. So and finally, the Republicans are fucking pulling their dicks out of their pants. If the Republicans are behind this, and they're like, okay, well, if they're gonna hit Trump with all kinds of bullshit charges, well, we're just gonna use the same thing on Hunter Biden, except that he's guilty of like things far worse than whatever the fuck Trump was done. Probably. This is just my speculation. We'll never know. But in order for us to actually do something, to have something to talk about, to come to any conclusions whatsoever, then we have to take a shot in the dark. We have to speculate on something that cannot be known for certain. That's what an induction is, right? So, yeah. So they start combing through all this shit, and then everyone, literally everybody. I don't fucking care how good you are, how many accountants you hire to do your shit. We're all guilty of tax evasion to some degree, and that's the weapon that any government, I guess, particularly in this context, the American government, keeps in their pocket for whenever they want to get rid of you. Whether you're part of the deep state, whether you are just some fucking average Joe who works a W-2 job and dutifully pays his taxes like he's supposed to, everyone's guilty tax fraud. Everyone's guilty tax evasion. So, anyway, so this is a slideshow, which is no, never mind. These are just pictures. So, okay, this is a Yahoo News article. Hunter Biden pleads guilty, and we'll find some follow-up articles to see, like, I think this article's a bit old. Okay, so this is, pleads guilty in a deal that likely averts time behind bars in it. Okay, what the fuck? How's that supposed to... That's a well packed up headline. Hunter Biden will plead guilty in a deal that likely averts time behind bars in a tax and gun case. So he's getting in trouble guns, getting in trouble taxes.
Yeah, he left a gun in a trash can right next to a school.
Pleading guilty, but then someone's going to get him out of trouble in spite of pleading guilty.
Well, who runs the DOJ?
Exactly.
Democrats.
Right. Okay, so, all right. Lindsay Whitehurst wrote this. Tuesday, June 20th, 2023. Washington, from the Associated Press, President Joe Biden's son Hunter will plead guilty to federal tax offenses but avoid full prosecution on a separate gun charge in a deal with the Justice Department that likely spares him time behind bars. Hunter Biden, at the age of 53, will plead guilty to misdemeanor tax offenses.
He's 53?
Apparently, according to this article. As part of an agreement made public Tuesday, the agreement will also avert prosecution on a felony charge of illegally possessing a firearm as a drug user, as long as he adheres to conditions agreed to in court. The deal ends a long-running Justice Department investigation into the taxes and foreign business dealings of President Biden's second son, who acknowledged struggling with addiction following the 2015 death of his brother, Beau Biden. It also averts a trial that would have generated days or weeks of distracting headlines for a White House that has strenuously sought to keep its distance from the Justice Department. The president asked about the development at a meeting on another subject in California, said simply, quote, I'm very proud of my son. The White House counsel's office said in a statement that the president and First Lady Jill Biden, quote, love their son and support him as he continues to rebuild his life. While the agreement requires the younger Biden to admit guilt, the deal is narrowly focused on tax and weapons violations rather than anything broader or tied to the Democratic president. Nonetheless, the former President Donald Trump and other Republicans continued to try to use the case to shine an unflattering spotlight on Joe Biden and raise questions about the independence of the Biden Justice Department. Trump, challenging Biden in the 2024 presidential race, likened the agreement to a mere traffic ticket, adding, our system is broken. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy compared the outcome to the Trump documents case now heading towards federal court and said, if you are the president's son, you get a sweetheart deal. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, another presidential challenger, used the same term. Two people familiar with the investigation said the Justice Department will recommend 24 months of probation for the tax charges, meaning Hunter Biden will not face time in prison. But the decision to go along with any deal is up to the judge. The people were not authorized to speak publicly by name and spoke to the Associated Press on the condition of anonymity. He is to plead guilty to failing to pay more than $100,000 in taxes on over $1.5 million in income in both 2017 and 2018, charges that carry a maximum possible penalty of a year in prison. The back taxes have since been paid, according to a person familiar with the investigation. The gun charge that states that Hunter Biden possessed a handgun, a Colt Cobra 38 Special, for 11 days in October 2018, despite knowing he was a drug user. The rarely filed count carries a maximum sentence of up to 10 years in prison, but the Justice Department said Hunter Biden had reached a pretrial agreement. What the This means as long as he adheres to the conditions, the case will be wiped from his record. What? What the fuck? Christopher Clark, a lawyer for Hunter Biden, said in a statement that it was his understanding that the 5-year investigation had been resolved. Quote, I know that Hunter believes that it is important to take responsibility for these mistakes he made during a period of turmoil and addiction in his life, Clark said. He looks forward to continuing his recovery and moving forward. The agreement comes as Justice Department pursues perhaps the most consequential case in history against Trump, the first former president to face federal criminal charges. The result of Hunter Biden's case comes just days after a 37-count indictment against Trump in relation to accusations of mishandling classified documents on his Florida estate. It was filed by a special counsel appointed by Attorney General Merrick Garland to avoid any potential conflict of interest in the Justice Department. That indictment has nevertheless brought an onslaught of Republican criticism of politicization of the Justice Department. Meanwhile, congressional Republicans continue to pursue their own investigations into nearly every facet of Hunter Biden's business dealings, including foreign payments. Representative James Comer, the Republican chairman of the House Oversight Committee, says that the younger Biden is, quote, getting away with a slap on the wrist, end quote, despite investigations in Congress that GOP lawmakers say show, but have not yet provided evidence of, a pattern of corruption involving the family's financial ties. Democratic Senator Chris Coons of Delaware, on the other hand, said the case was thoroughly investigated for over 5 years by U.S. Attorney David Weiss, a Delaware prosecutor appointed by Trump. Resolution of the case, Coons said, brings to a close a 5-year investigation, despite the elaborate conspiracy theories spun by many who believed that there could be much more to this. California Governor Gavin Newsom, who was scheduled to campaign with the president Tuesday evening, reaffirmed his support for Biden's reelection. Quote, Hunter changes nothing, Newsom told the AP on Tuesday, which can mean a lot of things. Misdemeanor tax cases aren't common, and most that are filed end with a sentence that doesn't include time behind bars, said Caroline Chiarolo, an attorney who served as a head of Justice Department's tax division from 2015 to 2017. An expected federal conviction is, quote, is not a slap on the wrist, she says. Gun possession charges that aren't associated with another firearm crime are also uncommon, said Keith Rosen, a past head of the criminal division in the U.S. Attorney's Office in Delaware. For people without a significant criminal history, the total number of multiple types of illegal possession cases filed every year in Delaware amounts to a handful, he said. Which, interesting they don't give us numbers, but yeah. The Justice Department investigation into the president's son burst into public view in December 2020, 1 month after the 2020 election, when Hunter Biden revealed that he had received a subpoena as part of the department's scrutiny of his taxes. The subpoena bought information on the younger Biden's business dealings with a number of entities, including Burisma, a Ukraine gas company on whose board he sat. A federal grand jury in Delaware heard testimony related to his taxes and foreign business transactions. In February 2021, the department sought the resignation of most Trump-era U.S. attorneys, as is customary in a new presidential administration, but made a point of noting that it was leaving Weiss in place as a way to ensure continuity in the probe. Weiss said in a June 7 letter to House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan that he had, quote, ultimate authority over the investigation. In a congressional hearing last August, FBI Director Christopher Wray confirmed that the investigation remained active of the Bureau's Baltimore field office and said it was a matter that, quote, I expect our folks to pursue aggressively, end quote. Garland pledged not to interfere with the probe at another hearing in March. An unnamed IRS special agent, though, later alleged mishandling of the investigation in a letter to Congress in which he sought whistleblower protection. The younger Biden joined the board of Burisma in 2014. Around this time, his father, then Barack Obama's vice president, was helping conduct the Obama administration's foreign policy with Ukraine. Trump and his allies have long argued without evidence that Hunter Biden's work in Ukraine influenced the Obama administration's policies. Years before the case was brought, Hunter Biden surfaced as a central character in the first impeachment case against Trump, who, in an apparent bid to boost his own re-election bid, had asked Ukraine's president, Volodymyr Zelensky, in a telephone call to announce an investigation into the younger Biden. Republicans later sought to make Hunter Biden's business dealings in Ukraine a prominent issue during the 2020 presidential election. In October of that year, the New York Post reported that it had received from Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, a copy of a hard drive of a laptop that Hunter Biden had dropped off 18 months earlier at a Delaware computer shop and never retrieved. Oh, they don't... You see... Okay, here's the funny part. They just fucking skip right over. They don't talk about what was on that hard drive. Oh, fucking... We don't know... Oh, jeez.
Fucking probably gigabytes worth of child porn.
Dude, yeah, who the fuck knows? I don't even want to know about that. Some nasty shit,
it
I'm
had
sure.
child porn, him just doing drugs and...
Rumors... Okay, what I've heard rumors of is just basically...
There is a picture with him that was on the internet. They weren't naked, but there was a picture of him with a bunch of kids, and they had their feet on him. Like, he was laying on a couch, and there was a bunch of kids sitting on top of the couch with their feet on top.
Homeboys in the feet. God damn.
Kid feet.
Oh my god. Yeah, I won't say for certain. Objectively, we can't say anything. We don't know. But, of course, that's not a satisfying answer. So if I had to answer, well, yeah, clearly we all know who I'm going to side with.
What, the DOJ?
I think Trump's guilty of being a player on fucking hitting on women, but I mean, I also think Hunter's guilty of...
I think Trump's guilty of being thick.
He's definitely... He has already been charged with that, bro. Fucking booty too thick. What my question is, what's the sentence? 100 ass slaps? I don't know. he is the thickest president of all history, no doubt. Fucking yeah. Anyway, so okay, so here's what's funny. Yahoo News, which I don't expect to be in the tank for anybody. Oh god, there's like 41.7 thousand comments. Holy shit. Yeah, we're not gonna read all that. That's just too much. So what's interesting is that okay. If I were a half respectable fucking like news journal, I would say, okay, we're gonna provide both sides of the argument, and then let the viewer decide. And that's not what they did here.
Whoa, now, hang on. You're using logic and reasoning. We don't do that here.
I know the liberals can't handle it. I mean, the Judeo-Christian morality wins again. What can I say?
Checkmate, atheist.
Anyway, so so they talk about, so the first thing they say is that okay, these are unusual charges. Possession of like gun charges without violent crime is unusual. Tax charges without what was they say, misdemeanor tax offenses are unusual charges, right? Normally, these charges, that there is some truth to that statement in the sense that, yes, the government doesn't pursue things that aren't worth its time or money. For example, a very simple example. Let's say you're speeding. You're 5 miles per hour over the limit. The cop stops you, like, okay, well, do you know, excuse me, sir or ma'am, how do you know how fast you're going? And all of a sudden, like, okay, unit 3, there's a shooting in the downtown area on 3rd Street. Please report immediately. And he's like, you know what, fuck it. There's a shooting over there. Gotta go by. So obviously, like, a shooting in the downtown area is a much more criminal problem than you speeding slightly over the speed limit. So the limited resource, being the police officer's attention and presence, has to be allocated to a priority target. So this is what, now, conversely, if the suspect is so big and so influential to the paychecks of the enforcing officers, whether police, whether FBI, whether the gay ops, the black ops, the black cox ops, they're not going to stop. They're not going to bite the hand that feeds them. So
gay psyops.
Yes, gay psyops. So
sounds like a killer game. I'd play that game.
Fucking let's download it together. I hope it's on Steam. Anyway, so that's obviously what's going on here. So sure, it's a democracy on paper, but it's clearly like a royal family at this point. Like, what the fuck does Hunter Biden do? He just, like, flies. He fucking shakes hands with people and some businessmen in China and businessmen in Ukraine. What else does he do? I mean, other than fuck teenage girls, probably.
Crack.
Smoke crack.
Smokes
Yeah,
crack.
that too. Why is he doing drugs in the first place? Like, he just, like, I can't. They give off, fact check me if you will, but these people give off the vibe that they've never had a job outside of politics. Like, they were born into that world and that's just all they do. And I'd imagine it gets really boring after a while. So what else can you do to alleviate that existential dread other than have sex with teenage girls and smoke crack? Obviously, that's the only way. Duh. So that's what he does. No surprise. And what's also, so first, this article states that, okay, the charge that these Republican lawmakers are trying to push against Hunter Biden are unusual. An attempt to subtly discredit these Republican lawmakers, or the prosecution in general. The second thing is they fail to mention all the nasty shit on his hard drive. So, yeah. If you first of all, like, I know most people aren't even watching this show because their attention spans are too short. The second problem is that read the whole fucking article. Read the whole report. And then now, normally I expect, okay, once you read the whole report, you're like, okay, well, that's the full story. You know, there's two sides to this, and it's my job to come up with the conclusion. These motherfuckers are missing something. Why did they take out these two details, and why did they try to poo-poo the prosecution? Like, what the fuck? Is this what they call professional news? So I guess we'll just take a quick look at the comments here.
Damn it! Just got coffee on my shirt.
So it seems like okay, what 41,000 comments. So there's only like 5 or so here. So people are starting to question this. Yeah, this is some fucking shady ass journalism. God damn. Everyone's got fucking skeletons in their closet. Some people slightly more, but I mean, everyone's got something that could be used against them. So, fucking, whatever. I mean, okay, as Voltaire said, or whoever the fuck, to know who rules over you, find out who it is you can't criticize. And clearly, people can't criticize the Bidens or black people or I don't know who the fuck else. Who else can we not criticize? Women. So now you know who rules over you, right? Anyway, yeah. Conversely, from Reuters, U.S. judge sets August 14th trial date for Trump and Florida documents case. By 3 stunning and brave authors known as Susan Heavey, Sarah N. Lynch, and Jacqueline Thompson. So,
Well,
hold
you
on.
just know Sarah's a slut.
Although she probably is, how do you know this? Like, how'd you come to such a quick conclusion? I must.
I can just smell it.
You can smell it through the fucking article. Oh my god! All right, let me get a
Yes,
bite
I can
of this.
smell it through the words that were typed on this article.
Jesus,
Through
all
my
right.
monitor.
Let me grab a bite of bread and I'll start reading in a minute. Okay, Washington, Reuters. U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon has set an initial trial date of August 14th in Florida on former President Donald Trump's federal charges of willful retention of classified document records and obstruction of justice, according to a court order on Tuesday. The Justice Department's special counsel in the case, Jack Smith, promised a speedy trial after 37-count indictment charging Trump with willfully retaining classified government records and obstructing justice. The date, if it holds, would put Trump on a trial 9 days ahead of the first Republican presidential debate, scheduled for August 23. But the complexities of handling highly classified evidence, the degree to which Trump's legal term challenges the government's pretrial motions, and the way judge manages the schedule could all lead to a trial as anything but swift, legal experts say. A spokesperson for Smith's office declined to comment, while Trump's lawyers did not immediately return requests for comment. The latest order came after a U.S. judge on Monday ordered Trump's defense lawyers to not release evidence in the classified documents case to the media or public, according to a court filing. The order from the U.S. magistrate, Judge Bruce Reinhardt, also put strict conditions on Trump's access to the materials. Trump was not arraigned in federal court in Miami last Tuesday, during which he pleaded not guilty to the charges he unlawfully kept national security documents when he left office and lied to officials who sought to recover them. Cannon's order setting a tentative August 14th trial is considered standard. However, a case will need to proceed under a strict and meticulous set of rules set forth in a law known as the Classified Information Procedures Act, CIPA, or CIPA, a law that aims to protect classified evidence and manage how such records can be disclosed. Cannon previously directed Trump's defense attorneys to start the process of seeking security clearances so they could review the evidence as required by CIPA. However, the government customarily files a motion with the court under CIPA that leads to the parties discussing the pretrial schedule, a step that has not yet happened in the case. Quote, it seems like that a tight schedule to me, and the courts are sometimes surprised at the ways in which classified information can slow a case down because of both the procedural law and the security measures involved, said David Aaron, a former federal prosecutor who is now with the law firm Perkins Coie. So, I mean, this is just all fluff. So, I'm well. AG, do you wanna pitch anything in before I go on my spiel?
Not really. This is all kind of self-explanatory, to be
Right.
honest.
So, okay, let's take all. Let's not get lost in the weeds. And this is aside from the fact that half this shit just kind of went over my head because I'm not a fucking legal expert. So the whole reason why everyone, no, the state is trying to, I guess I don't know if they really hate him or not, but they're getting rid of him because obviously he's a credible threat to the current regime, and those in power want to stay in power, obviously. So they're just throwing everything they fucking can at him to basically squash him down. Again, I'm just really surprised that after these like 3-4 years of nonstop fucking criticism, I'm just surprised they haven't fucking killed him yet. Like, why not just fucking assassinate him and just spin the crime as like some kind of freak accident or whatever? I guess they just didn't. They just don't have the opportunity to do so yet. But
Well,
anyway,
how many presidents could you assassinate? Because we assassinated Lincoln and we assassinated JFK. Yeah, there's like an old song about it. It's like, who killed the Kennedys, and it was actually me and you that killed them. No.
Based. But I mean, like,
This is a dark period in the history of the United States. So, you know, presidents being taken to court by current presidents as DOJs. It's going to be a pretty fucking nasty cycle of prosecution of previous presidents. Because why didn't Trump prosecute Hillary? Do you think someone in his cabinet went, dude, you don't want to do that? That's territory you don't want to step into. And then now he's being prosecuted by Biden's DOJ. And if Trump gets back into office, do you think he's going to prosecute Hillary and Biden? Or at least the Biden administration? I don't think you can prosecute a fucking potato. But
look, the way I look at it, the more the American government fights with itself, the more distracted they'll be.
We're entering towards the late stage of Rome, period. Where Rome started to fall apart because, one, it was a really big country like us. Two, it had really, really, really fucking awful leaders.
Who are into all kinds of nasty shit, like Nero.
And we're into all kinds of nasty shit, loss of morals. We just let migrants flood in by the millions.
Mm-hmm.
Spending more money than what we make. Like, this is a lot like what happened to Rome.
Yep. So,
yeah.
So, yeah, I guess just all I can really contribute to like this discussion is just my reapplication of my observations about human behavior, how I guess what seems to be clear to seems to be reflected in all stages of history. Yeah. Here's the way I look at it. So, while the more the American government fights itself, the less mental headroom they have to fight Russia. So, maybe the more that the U.S. weakens, the less chance that we'll all die in thermonuclear war. Huh? What do you say? So I'm kind of embracing it. Like, okay, now we're finally scrutinizing each other, and the majority of the American people are just they're just sitting around like waiting with their fucking hands under their asses in the chair, just waiting around to see. Okay, well, who's gonna win? I'm gonna side with the winner, because nobody actually fucking cares about the truth. This is all just a power struggle. More than anything.
And why aren't people still talking about the currency that China, Russia, Iran, and
BRICS?
India are coming together, and Brazil are coming together to get away from the U.S. dollar?
Mm-hmm. BRICS. No, but the news doesn't want to talk about it, because the less people know about it, the better. And I'm with TFM on the likely prospect that buying BRICS currency is going to be illegal. But of course, even if it's illegal, there's always workarounds. So I want to see how that shakes out. Hashtag not sponsored, but you might want to get on that because take a look at where the dollar's going. So BRICS is the only comparably large system. That's obvious. Well, actually, it's more people than the U.S. So Brazil's like what, tens of millions? China, 1.3 billion. South Africa, in India, 800 million. So it is literally bigger. So if BRICS actually becomes real shit, it's going to be way bigger than the U.S. Plus, they got Russia. So, yeah. Is it going to become just yet another bureaucracy and fall into the same bullshit that the Western society is? Yeah, probably. But at least it buys you a few decades of who knows what. Economic opportunities. Great job. Maybe a administration that is not dog shit for at least a few, maybe a couple decades. Think about it. I mean, look, like, I know it's some people, they're still attached to their American pride, but what the fuck is the country left anymore? What is it? It's just Pride Month. It's the U.S. of gay. So, not to hate on gays, but I mean, if that's all you're about, I mean, that's kind of lame. So, anyway, I don't know how it went from Trump to BRICS, but yeah. That's the life of the government. So, So if people, I guess the only other point I really have to bring up is that I see this as a good thing. Any politician understands that if you want to be a king, you got to face the sword. And if you're not willing to face that sword, then you're not worthy to be king. Because being that high in power, like, you're a big target. People want to get rid of you. They want your money. They probably want your head. They want, I don't know, all kinds of shit. So the more pressure we place on government officials, on both sides, either side, the more competitive it is, then competition is the basis to excellence. Capitalism, right? Well, obviously not. That's kind of a shitty analogy, but well, the principle still lies. Competition is the basis to excellence. Excellence cannot be defined without competition. So, yeah, I like seeing the heat getting turned up on these people. And I guess some people are slowly starting to come to the conclusions that we've understood for almost 3-4 years by now. Yeah, but such is life. It's pretty lonely as being so ahead of the bell curve. Anyway. So, yeah, I guess we'll see in August. But more importantly, why does it even matter? Like, okay, let's say Trump just fucking dies or whatever. Whether it's assassination or heart attack. The people, his constituents, his fan base is still going to be there. So, what has really changed? I mean, if he's alive, then okay, I guess it's even better. At least he has some semblance of working in the interest of the country and the whole world. At least he shakes hands instead of starting wars. So, I don't know. We'll see. If not, I mean, my life will go on. I've got options A, B, and C. In other ridiculous bullshit prosecutions, Andrew Tate. Oh, look at this. Oh my God. Look at the fucking Independent. Look at this. Look at this. God, what is this shit? Okay, so the top G, the leader of Hustlers Academy, Andrew Tate, has charged with rape and human trafficking. And I don't know, this clearly isn't news, but apparently it made the news just 4 days ago by Alistair Jameson. So they're arrested, pending criminal investigation. What the fuck? What the fuck is Logan Paul doing here? Whatever. Anyway, okay. Oh, this is fucking. Look at this fucking opener. So here's your fucking unbiased journalism. Misogynist influencer Andrew Tate and his brother have been charged in Romania with human trafficking, rape, and forming a criminal gang to sexually exploit women. Oh my God. Oh Jesus. Oh, what the fuck? AG, why is the world run by cucks? Why?
Sorry about that. I had the coffee shits.
Oh, jeez.
Ugh. They're gonna come back.
Leave your mark on when you're on the toilet. Anyway, so.
Kid rope. Ugh.
Jeez, oh god, you sound like you're struggling.
I am, dude. I'm fighting for my fucking life right now, man. My ass is winning.
Oh god. Your ass should know that if it like you die, it dies too. So why is it helping death in your battle for your life?
I don't know. I fucking hate summer, man. It wouldn't be so warm in here if it wasn't for my PC, but I think it's harder for my AC system to keep the place cooler because it's hotter outside and my PC's going.
Oh my god.
I got the fans going. It's okay.
You need to move north, bro. Fucking the north is where you want to deal with this shit.
Or to a higher elevation.
Yeah, or that. Anyway, so, okay, yeah, so again, this fucking article opens with misogynist influencer Andrew Tate and his brother have been charged in Romania with human trafficking, rape, and forming a criminal gang to sexually exploit women. Yes, a cam girl service. Like, unless he's got like a bunch of mafia people fucking pointing guns at like a cam girl, say, okay, well well, I guess that might be his collateral. But I mean,
this is kind of sidetracking, but didn't we have a show about a former porn star that was being dragged into court for rape? Who has literal dementia?
Ron Jeremy.
Yeah, we did.
Ron Jeremy, yes.
Yeah, Ron Jeremy.
Okay, so for anyone with a modicum of fucking critical thinking skills, so these buzzwords, misogynist, rape charges, sexually exploit women, like, I'm growing so fucking jaded to this. It has completely lost its effect. I can't take these words seriously anymore because of how often and how inappropriately they've been used. So, like, this is just the price of doing business. Like, not even money anymore. You just fucking get sent to jail. But actually, you know what? Hold on, second thought. On second thought, I remember, so the very first show, AVC show number 1, I think our opener was about Andrew Tate. And
doesn't he hate women? Doesn't he like actually hate women?
No. He just talks a lot. He just talks a lot of shit, and often he's kind of true. So he is the so-called red pill that all like the MGTOW guys are talking about, and everybody hates him because he's trying to break their illusion of for all intents and purposes, we can call the Western egalitarian idealism. This is the ideal. This is what all we wish it could be. Okay, we wish that men and women can work at the same level and do all the same things. But clearly, women either are incapable of it or they just simply don't want to.
Okay.
So by stating this, apparently this is sexist. Which at that point, I'm just...
So this is what you gotta do. You gotta treat women like they're the plague now. So how you're gonna run your cam girl business is that you'll have like your main office, right? But you don't allow any women into the office, just period. Only dudes that you trust, and if you want to like interview someone for like a cam girl position, because I think that's how you have to do. You have to like interview for it. Like you can't just like show up and like just post. Like it's got to be through Zoom. It's all got to be recorded. Got to have like they can work from home, and like there's cameras in the building. Like there's no point. There's like no way of like contact. Like that's how you got to do it.
Yeah, but then even if there's your evidence. But if the judge is so stacked against you, for example, I think the real reason why he's here is because Tate was talking shit about how corrupt the Romanian police were. So obviously. He's like, bro, I could fucking bribe the Romanian cops and I could just fucking get away with anything, man. So it was probably some stupid shit, like, I don't know, some probably traffic violations. Because if you actually sit your ass down and watch like Andrew Tate's videos, half the time he's joking, and half the time he's giving actually valuable advice that young men really need to hear about how to respect themselves, how to handle like business relations, what confidence is. So, by all means, sure, maybe I'm biased, towards Andrew Tate, because if you actually listen to what the fuck he has to say, he doesn't want to destroy anything in the world. He cracks a lot of jokes, and he just wants to be like a. I would say he's something different than like a father figure. He's the cool dad that got in and out of jail and like did martial arts that you never had. So, I really respect him. And he probably is guilty of blowing the lid on the Romanian police, but maybe it's the Romanian police's fault for being corrupt. Just like any police force. So that's why he's in trouble. And just like Hunter Biden and just like Donald Trump, if people want to get rid of you, if the government wants to get rid of you, if a group of people wants to get rid of you, they'll dig through your closet and find your skeletons and then hang them on the wall. See, this guy's guilty. Because they just want you gone, not because that's actually what happened. So what they're doing is that they're going back through his cam girl business, and they're kind of like creating the evidence rather than looking for the evidence, because it's a fucking cam show. Like, does he have enough mafia connections to just strong arm with threat of violence for these cam girls to perform on a cam show remotely? How the fuck does that work? Did he actually travel to go fuck one of the cam girls? And then if there's not that, then how is there any possibility that he's guilty of rape? It's clearly punitive charges. It's not about justice, it's about punishment. So whether or not that's a problem, I mean, that's kind of up to you to decide, isn't it? But I'm just stating what I've observed and what I'm pretty sure is actually happening.
How can a seasoned, like, loved male porn star be a rapist if he's having consensual sex with women all the time?
On camera. Well, okay, well then the accusation is, okay,
why would he need to rape them? Like, why would he, does the raping start after the camera stops? Like, he just performed.
That's
like,
the
so
accusation, yes.
So yeah, you're telling me he's gonna go and, like, force sex on you after he just got it for free? Like, that doesn't add up.
So because of the Me Too stuff, like, okay, these mostly women are starting to see an opportunity. Hey, I can cash in on this. So
at least they didn't get Johnny Depp. He got out of it.
He got off lucky.
He loved.
Hmm?
He's loved by enough guys that he got away with it.
Yeah, and I guess the evidence was like Amber Heard just like she didn't play her cards right. Otherwise, she could have gotten away with it.
Then she was having she was showing visible signs of in the courtroom.
But okay, no, here's the crazy thing about Johnny Depp though. So because he chose to be a bitch by letting his woman beat his ass and he didn't touch her, that's what saved him. Like I honestly, like I can't believe I'm saying this. I respect him for being a pussy. It takes a lot of self-control to not fucking like fight back with someone like that. Like regardless of like the sex, regardless
There's
of
a lot of evidence too, like his.
Well, yeah, duh, right. There's a recording.
Honeymoon pictures. He had bruises on his fucking face.
Yeah.
And the dude that was like chauffeuring them around, driving them around, was like, yeah, he looked like he was having a fucking miserable time.
Yeah, and there's audio recording of Amber Heard just basically saying like, I'm gonna get away with this because I'm a woman, and Johnny Depp just sounds like the most fucking like defeated man in existence. It's pretty conclusive. It's still an induction, but it's a pretty damn solid induction. That Johnny Depp was clearly the victim in this case, and he didn't fight back. But the second he would have fucking laid a finger on Amber Heard, like that would have changed I believe that would have totally changed the verdict.
Okay, so did the article say who's accusing him of rape? Is it multiple women? Is it one woman? Is it someone in his office?
They did not. They just stated the pair are accused. So, and the women were allegedly controlled by intimidation and constant surveillance. So, if I recall correctly,
it's a cam service.
Yeah, it's a fucking cam service. Like I don't think Andrew Tate is that rich. He can't fucking hire like CIA agents to like stalk all of his cam girls. Like, what the fuck is this? Again, it's the Romanian police trying to cover their asses by trying to get rid of Tate. And this helps to discredit his statements because, oh, he's a felon now. I mean, apparently that has any effect on whether or not his statement is true or false. And they're throwing his little brother Tristan into it as well, but not as heavy of a charge. Quote, instigating others to violence.
Wait, is that him next to him? Is that his little brother?
Yeah, that's
Tristan
his little
next to
brother.
him?
They ran like a
You
YouTube
got
show together.
more fucking hair than he does.
A slightly less
Solid.
egg-shaped head. I don't know. This is just a fucking tragedy. So like, you actually try to help men out, like young men particularly, the backbone of society. They fight all the wars. They do all the physical labor.
This is what you fucking get for giving them rights. This is what you fucking get.
I guess. So
You gave them rights. They take your fucking life.
So if you
your livelihood, they take your families. They take your business, your cam girl business. They take your money, and everybody's a fucking rapist.
Yep, everybody's a rapist and everyone's a rape victim. So who do we charge? Who do you send to jail? Now you got to find something else to charge, because if everyone's guilty of a crime, then everyone's a criminal. And then if everyone's a criminal, then no one's a criminal. So then we just have to charge other people with something else.
Justin Roiland, I think, the guy who writes Rick and Morty and voices
Justin Roiland.
voice acts on the show. Roiland, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The second that his abuse charges or whatever, which he had been going to court for years, the second that it got onto the media, all these people started coming out, oh yeah, he abused me, oh yeah, I'm a fan, he raped me. And then Adult Swim dropped him like last week's fucking newspaper. And then he eventually got acquitted because he wasn't guilty. And he's just like, I'm not guilty, but my whole life was taken away because of Me Too.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's. But again, you know, we all stood together. Hashtag dicks out for Justin, and thankfully the verdict went out in his and our favor. And he's he's like an exceptional case, honestly. I highly suspect the majority.
His video game company that he started also dropped him too.
Yep. But he's Justin Roiland. Like, he could just start a YouTube channel and people will click on that shit. I'd fucking stand with him. I'd go watch his shit. So I guess I guess partially related is like maybe who's that fucking kid? Who's that fat ass white kid who shot one of the like the Antifa pedos? Fucking what is his name? Come on, think.
I know who you're talking
2021. It was okay, hold on. I'm gonna give it a minute. Try to fucking remember.
Yeah, he went and sued. He sued
Kenosha, Wisconsin, right? That's where it is.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. He sued like CNN or whatever and got like a bunch of fucking money out of it.
God damn it! How come I can't fucking remember this? I remember his face. I remember the picture of him holding his AR-15. He's like this 15-year-old kid, and he's like what, 19 now? He was 15 when he was charged with it. Or was he? God damn it! What the fuck is his name?
I think he was older than that. Google it.
And I think his like overweightness or almost obesity almost like saved him, because one of the charges was like he was running towards the guy that he shot. But of course he was like, you know, he's fat.
The media also claimed that he shot unarmed men and they were armed. They had weapons on them.
And they were trying to kill him. Yes.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck. Kenosha, Wisconsin. Okay, hold on. Let's just for the road. Let's look at it. Kenosha, Wisconsin. Antifa.
I guess the moral of this show is that take everything with a heavy grain of salt.
Rittenhouse. That's his name. Kyle Rittenhouse.
He's a
Kenosha, Illinois. No, Wisconsin. God, I don't know American geography. Holy fuck. So yeah. So there's a bunch of people got shot in that fucking protest right there. Anyway,
that
yeah.
was during the fucking COVID mayhem, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. So people like Rittenhouse, who get all these fucking charges, and then he got off again due to pure luck. The injustice system fucking let him loose. He's not employable for the most part. People don't want that kind of drama. So his only source of income is either like walking away with like a settlement in court or starting a YouTube channel. Because
Well, he
clearly
did
there's a lot of
sue a
people who are
news
fans.
company and made away with like what? I don't remember what it was. Was it like 300 million?
But now he's got to make that.
He could.
Now he's got to stretch that out over the basically
Well, the
infinite
smart thing to
inflation
do would be to
awaiting
try to
us.
start your own business. Like he could
Yes.
become a streamer.
Yes.
He could try to like work with something with like I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
try to make something to solve a problem that
So
hasn't
there,
been solved yet.
right. If he starts a
And then
YouTube
sells
show,
that
he's
product.
clearly going to have people that support him. And obviously like Hustlers University or Hustlers Academy, whatever the fuck, like the whole fan base that the Tate brothers have going, like they've got a way out. Like once they come out of jail, like they'll have a way to continue providing for themselves. And they don't seem like the type who'd work at like an hourly wage job anyway. So,
Anybody
yeah, I
like
mean,
the
like,
three
imagine
movies
that
top
life. You're just going in and out of jail because of bullshit charges because you pissed off the wrong people. I mean, that's where we are at this point.
Is
So,
anybody watching the stream?
I don't know. I
Or is
don't
it
care.
just us?
Most of my clicks happen when the stream's over. Like people like they load it up and watch it afterwards, and I think most of the people stop watching. Only 2% of the viewers of the 20 some views I get per video is like actually.
If you're still with us, you're the 2% of the 2%, man. You're your IQ level is so high because you watch Rick and Morty, man.
Pretty much. Oh man.
You're still
It's like
watching
big
this
brain time.
shitty live stream because your IQ is just so high.
Oh man. Anyway, yeah. So I guess it's just like no good deed goes unpunished is what I is the biggest takeaway with like this Andrew Tate case.
Next topic.
Hold on. What's going on here? So Matea Petrescu, a spokesperson for the brothers, said that they were quote prepared to quote demonstrate their innocence and vindicate their reputation at a hearing in Bucharest on Wednesday morning. So I guess that's their defense lawyer. Quote, Tate's legal team are prepared to cooperate fully with the appropriate authorities, presenting all necessary evidence to exonerate the brothers and expose any misinterpretations or false accusations, Petrescu said. Protesters ordered the confiscation of the Tate brothers. Oh, what the fuck? Prosecutors ordered the confiscation of the Tate brothers' assets, including 15 luxury cars, luxury watches, and about $3 million in cryptocurrency. Several women in Britain were also pursuing civil claims to obtain charges from Tate, alleging they were victims of sexual violence. It's the fucking UK.
This is
What do
what
you
I hate
expect?
about these articles. Okay, well, what evidence do you have?
Well, there is none. They're
It
just
just
using a bunch
says
of loaded words.
it's always alleged or said or claimed or shit like that. That's
And
all
then
these articles
usually-
ever say.
Yes. So and then there's like two groups. There's like there's cucks and there's like a lot of women that side when they read this article and they think, they've been accused by whammons and of sexual violence and rape, and they just go with
politician. Do you remember that politician that some other chick they're old, they're like in their 60s, and this chick claimed that he raped her when they were like in high school. Like he was a senior and she was like a freshman at like a party in high school.
Kavanaugh.
Yeah, decades and decades later. And she like changed her story a few times, and like
Yep.
the dude was fighting for his fucking life and just barely got away with it over something that happened probably fucking 40 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing is sacred anymore.
Back when you actually could, like, I don't know, date one of your coworkers and then find a wife there and live happily ever after, right? So because of the involvement of the government, that's why the birth rates are dropping. That's one of the two reasons. Just a side note. Once you involve the government in your relationship and turn it into a threesome, yeah, the government ruins a lot of shit, doesn't it? Anyway, so there's two groups of people that look at this article. Group one is, again, cucks, and probably a lot of women. They look, the Tate brothers have been charged with this, therefore the victim is correct. Andrew Tate is a misogynist and a rapist. And then they just repeat this, like literally like a fucking NPCs in a hive. Like they got their gray faces and they're like their triangular noses and everything. Andrew Tate is a rapist. Andrew Tate is a rapist. Like a bunch of fucking parrots. And then there's people with two brain cells to rub together. Be like, okay, Where's the
I
evidence?
beat the shit out of my wife, Morty, and I got away with it, Morty. Morty, I beat the shit out of my wife.
Yes. So, and then there's the other group of people, which probably mostly men, but I'm sure there's a very small number of like women with two brain cells to rub together. Be like, it's a cam girl service. Is he really so influential he can fucking strong arm, stalk, harass, and spy on all of his cam girls? How? How? Where's the evidence? I want to see that before I believe these accusations. And then they also know that this second group of like big pee-pee people, they look at all these buzzwords and say, okay, people are throwing around these words a lot. This is clearly what's happening in the justice system.
Well,
it's becoming trendy.
so
it's effective. And that's
he's
why
not
people
as
do it.
rich as Bezos, but Bezos gets to have sex with any woman he wants. He gets to snort cocaine on his super yacht, and nobody fucking cares.
Mhm.
But Bezos isn't a red pill, so that's why he gets to get away with it.
And that's why fucking McKinsey stole like $40 billion worth of his business out from him. In divorce. And probably drove it to the ground. Who knows? Man. What sucks for Bezos is that like if you're at that level, like if you're not married, people like they give you the weird eye. They think something's wrong with you. Like at that point, like how do you even escape that? Like you gotta either declare yourself as gay or like transgender or something. So people would shut the fuck up.
Kevin Spacey said he was gay.
No, didn't Kevin Spacey get
supposedly
accused by some mid-30s dude who accuses Spacey of molesting him back when he was a teenage boy?
I think he had evidence. I don't remember.
I don't know. But yeah, again, this is so if you're I don't obviously these people aren't watching the show, but if you're a rich and famous dude or you're aspiring to be rich and famous, being that high up, if you want to be king, you got to face a sword. If you want to be a rich and famous man who talks like mad shit and straight facts to young men that need to hear it, you're gonna face the sword of.
I'm gonna give a quote from a really famous person, Bill Cosby. Look, either we're fucking or I'm fucking.
If only. If only.
Hey man, I think that's some words to live by. Do you wanna be the one that gets fucked, or do you want to be the one that does the fucking? Like you can only do either or. There's no in between.
Well, if you're gonna get fucked either way, I mean, at least you want to.
I'm not talking about like forcing sex on people. I'm saying just like life in general. Like, do you want to take charge, or do you want to let other people take charge of you?
There's a lot of forces that are completely outside of your control.
Yeah.
So then all you can do is adjust your attitude and change and act accordingly to the tidal waves approaching you. So, let's say a tsunami's coming, right? So you can stand there and be like, "No, I'm not going to be drowned by a tsunami." Or you could, like, I don't know, go find a shelter, go grab some survival food, move, get in your car, get the fuck away.
Are you going to be like that Amish couple that just stands on top of the house as like the water level's rising and like a boat shows up to save them, and they're like, "No, God will provide," and the fucking helicopter shows up.
Or
and
grab
like,
a surfboard.
No, God will provide, and then they die and they get to heaven, and then they're like, "God, why didn't you save us?" He goes, "Well, I sent you a boat. You know, I sent you a helicopter, and you didn't get on."
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Oh my god, this is so fucking oh Jesus.
Dude, we were going so off the rails with this.
That's good, dude. Embrace it. Free content. So
you should be a deer, and you should buy me another guitar.
No. Anyway, okay, here's the beautiful part. So I guess they're not wrong when they say, quote, his views got him banned from all social media platforms, although his Twitter account became active again in November after Elon Musk acquired the platform and has grown an audience of more than 4.5 million followers. So they're trying to, this news article is trying to poo-poo Tate and then throw Elon in the bucket with them and say, here's a big poo bucket. They're bad. Elon bad, Tate bad. It's just it. Quote, campaigners told The Independent that the influencer is a, quote, legitimizing force for, end quote, for misogynistic ideas. Which, remember, misogynistic ideas just mean anything a woman, particular woman, doesn't like. Not women in general. Even if like 99 out of 100 women say like, what the fuck's the big deal? So what? Let the dude say whatever the fuck he wants. I don't care. If that one woman's pissed off, then she can call it misogyny. And if it's on the news, well, I guess then that it must be true, right? So this is a fucking opinion piece. This isn't a report. So like, Alistair Jameson, like, fucking go eat a dick. You're probably better at that than writing like actual journalism. This is a shame.
Why is there a
Sad
video
reacts
of
only.
Logan Paul?
Well, let's go click on it then.
No, I don't know. I don't like Logan Paul. I don't like Andrew Tate. I don't care about any of these fucking people.
I like Andrew Tate. Okay, let's watch this video real quick.
We're gonna dive into Andrew Tate.
I don't hate him.
I
I
don't
just
feel like platforming
I
this
just don't
guy.
care for him.
I don't feel like giving him the blessing of being my dance partner in the ring, especially after the social media platforms
You need to talk about how
have made
Andrew
it
Tate
very
fucked
clear
him too.
how they feel about this guy, right? And
Shut up,
I
watch
would
the
even,
video.
I can't hear it.
I would even put a little call out here to like fellow creators and even JJ. Like, you want to re-platform this guy? Anyone? You want to have him on your shows? You want to give him another opportunity to speak and spread his agenda? Because whether you believe it or not, the shit that Andrew Tate is saying will have a ripple effect much more dangerous than you can imagine, because his narrative is truly hateful. His rhetoric has extreme negative energy in it, and it will affect impressionable young people in a way that will not show until years from now, and it is dangerous.
And so, all right, I'm disappointed in fucking Logan Paul now. And so, I guess his first fuck up was apologizing for they're going to like the forest of suicide in Japan, like posing for like a hussy with a corpse hanging from the tree. Like, that's where you fucked up. And now he's instead of doubling down by taking another picture in the suicide forest, he's doubling down on the cocksucking and apology
was
the
was
crap.
he live streaming that event, or did he record it and then post it?
It was an interview.
No. Of the hanging. I don't remember. Was he
It
walking through the
it was
forest
curated
live
content.
stream?
Curated content. I'm pretty
So
sure.
he recorded it and then posted it.
Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure it's curated content.
Well, if it is, he's just guilty of being stupid. He should have just cut out the part where they saw the body.
If I were him, I would have fucking doubled down. Like, so, what made him stick out is that the fact that he's gonna do stupid shit, like stupid and offensive things. That's his whole brand. And if you're being stupid and offensive deliberately, that's comedy. That's what makes him great. And then here's what look at what he's doing right now. He's just bending the other knee down. Not just like bending one knee like, "Milady, will you marry me?" He's got both of his fucking knees on the ground, be like, "I'm ready to suck your dick." So this cocksucking is just a further like self-degradation.
Well, I couldn't hear it. So was he just like, "I'm sorry for posting the video," like, or was it like, "Oh, I shouldn't have done that. That was so stupid"? Or
No, I'm
something like
I'm talking about his character, and he's continuing on this probably because of the sponsors. He doesn't want to.
Okay, well, maybe instead of apologizing, he should have just been like, "Well, yeah." In hindsight, it probably wasn't the
No,
brightest idea.
don't
to post it.
apologize. That's your whole fucking shtick. And if sponsors cut you, that's the cost of doing business. Why do you want to be around these fucking like these bootlickers?
Sponsors are fucking Elvising him.
He's probably not balancing his checkbooks. He's probably there's way too much money going out, and then his standard of living is not something he wants to give up in order to be his true self, to speak what he really believes in.
I'm pretty sure he started his own drink. You can buy it at a store now. It's called Prime.
Yeah, I'm sure, but he doesn't want that to go under.
Apologize.
So here he is. He's just becoming another fucking normie.
Did it become like a big thing again? Like, were people like
No,
upset about it?
I'm bringing it up. I'm bringing it up as a character analysis.
No, but why is he coming out and apologizing now? Why didn't he apologize years ago? When
He didn't. No, he did way back then, but that only partially has anything to do with what we're talking about right now. So right now here in this interview with The Independent, for some reason you can't hear
I
it,
don't
even
feel
though
like-
that doesn't make any sense. He's basically saying, oh well, the Tate brothers, they talk a lot of like dangerous rhetoric, quote unquote. And he says that, okay, well, it's not right that they're criticizing an entire gender. Which, knowing his personality, like, that's not what he should be saying. Not saying as in, like, morally should, but statistically should. Like, probability should. But once you start to factor in, okay, again, it's about the sponsorships. Like Kanye got cut. But he just keeps talking shit because now he's found a new home in InfoWars, or basically the armpit of the internet. And he's happy there, which is fucking hella based. But Logan Paul wants to stay into the mainstream. And by staying in the mainstream, you must do as the Romans, right? Or stay in Rome, you must do as the Romans. So then he's just saying this fucking this platitude that he's expected to say. And it's just, honestly, it's fucking disgusting.
I don't know, man. Orgies used to be great until the Romans brought women
yes,
into it.
Exactly. Like, only men can go hard. Only men are hard. So now you have like
Never
these
forget
fucking.
That the Romans ruined orgies by bringing women into it.
Yes, 100% correct. Anyway, so it's just fucking virtue signaling, I guess. Really, what he's doing, he's covering his own ass. He doesn't want to lose his sponsorships. He sees the failure of Kanye West, and he's like, I don't want to do that because I want to hold on to the money. And at what cost? His character. He's not anyone fucking interesting anymore. He's just some fucking. He's abdicating. Yeah, that's just not interesting. That's not unique. That's not respectable, at least in my book. Yeah. So anyway, okay, we got 2 more articles. I don't think anyone gives a shit about archaeology, so.
Let's just fucking hammer it out. Let's go.
All right.
Come on.
So, speaking of getting government involved in your relationships and the fact that people like Andrew Tate are being prosecuted, that's why loneliness is part of the equation here. CNN, June 19th. Loneliness or social isolation linked to serious health outcomes, study finds. So the answer here is like, okay, duh. Being lonely makes most people don't know how to deal with loneliness. Most people aren't creative or hardworking or intelligent enough to find something to keep themselves occupied instead of just like ruminating about how fucking lonely they are. And then they turn to drugs, they turn to extreme behavior, risk taking. And since no one is out there to like watch their asses because they can't take care of themselves, that's why they get hurt, they get sick, more drugs, alcohol, which is a drug. All kinds of, I mean, duh. I mean, in the broadest aggregate sense, it really doesn't surprise me that this study, like this statistic comes out. That being said, let's do the article. Let's do justice and read it. It's kind of long. We'll bang it out. We'll stick our fingers in there and fucking give it a shake. CNN, if you're lonely or socially isolated, you may have a higher risk of early death, according to a large new study, which is a fucking meta-analysis, I'm sure. There have been many studies on the associations between social isolation, loneliness, and the risk of dying early, but some results have been controversial and mixed, according to a paper published on Monday. Controversial and mixed. According to a paper published Monday in the journal Nature Human Behavior. These resulting conflicts could be due to a research only focusing on a specific group or region, said Turhan Canley, a professor of integrative neuroscience in the Department of Psychology at the New York's Stony Brook University. Canley wasn't involved in the study. The new paper, however, is a meta-analysis. I fucking called it. A meta-analysis of 90 studies that had examined the links between loneliness, social isolation, and early death among 2 million adults. Study participants were followed anywhere from 6 months to 25 years. Now, again, a meta-analysis, in case you guys didn't know, a meta-analysis is a study of other studies. You compile a bunch of research from all kinds of things, and then you make these correlation arguments, saying that, okay, loneliness is correlated with a lower risk of death, but further investigation is needed to establish why. So what the fuck does this prove? Okay, duh, yeah. Generally, being alone kind of results in a lower life expectancy. But why is that so? Well, further investigation is needed. So what use is this research? So then we come to the ad hoc or prop to hook. The number one fucking fallacy in all scientific research in all fields. correlation equals causation.
I don't care about your fucking research. If you're having loneliness, if you're lonely, no one wants to talk to you, pick up a fucking hobby that other people do, like mixed martial arts. Go to a fucking mat, get thrown around on the floor, make some friends. You know, you might not be good at it, or join a gym, make friends at the gym.
Wrestle with another dude and do an oil check.
Get into a musical instrument and find people to fucking play with. You know, go for a fucking walk.
If you're a dude, go do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and like get sweaty with another dude on the mat, and then be like, "Hey, man, you wrestled good tonight. How about you wrestle me later again in my bedroom tonight?" And if he doesn't say yes, he fucked up.
Are the ones I've done like the hardest physical, like just dirt nasty things I've ever done. Whether it be like working on something really difficult or doing some kind of like really hard physical exercise together. There's like some kind of like bond you get. Don't forget the
homie sex, like the sexual tension between two homies. That's a very important male bonding thing, even for heterosexuals, man. Like the Spartans, like when the Spartans were like fucking to keep morale up in during tough battle, like they knew what the hell they're doing, man. Do you disagree?
I do not.
That's right, you don't. Anyway.
It was also like an intimidation thing. Whenever spies would go and like try to spy on the Spartans, they'd all be naked and like working out together.
You're like, yeah, look at us, strong Spartans. We have nothing to hide. While they fucking flex their muscles and like shake their dicks around. The spies are like, bro, I'm not man enough for this much gay. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
The people I know the most, I've been in literal dick swinging contests with. So, you know, that's when you know you can trust somebody, if you can get into a dick swinging contest and no one else talks about it. So, find somebody you can have a dick swinging contest with. I really don't care for any of these like studies or whatever. Like,
well, again, yes, they only prove correlation.
If anybody's still watching, okay, so if anybody is still watching, go find a fucking hobby. Go get into a music instrument. Get into a mixed martial art of some kind, like jiu-jitsu or whatever. You know, try to make like a new circle of friends. Try to find someone you can talk to.
So, I'm sure if you ask like any quote unquote researcher or even ChatGPT, they'll say
talk to some fucking old people. Talk to some old people at like an elderly home, or like maybe like talk to like an old person at work. Maybe you can make good friends out of them. Some of the coolest people I know are actually really old.
Hold on. So here's the issue. So this whole article, like, I don't fucking care what it has to say. Really, at this point, I'm 99.999% sure. It's just all virtue signaling. Okay, say we should make friends. We should socialize. Here's how you solve the problem by establishing a support group. Like, okay, how? So the issue, the key, what's really going on is that even if you are pro-social, even if you're very extroverted, which I fucking cringe when I say that word, but for all intents and purposes, the problem is other people don't want to reciprocate. Humans are becoming lazy. They are becoming lazy because, especially in like developed countries, well, conditions are good.
Oh, dude, I'm already finding memes about how people spend so much more time talking to ChatGPT than anything else.
Because ChatGPT probably has a lot more time, a lot more to teach them, and
it'll just feed you whatever you want to hear.
Well, right. Even then, like I personally, I mean, I have a day job. That's probably where the majority of my social interaction. And I talk with people on the internet, which keeps my speech skills, like, solid. And, of course, there's a way to continue training my sense of humor. Yeah. And also there's this show. I talk with you guys. I talk with AG. I talk to myself in most of the shows because none of these motherfuckers show up. So the skills necessary, and I observe this myself. The majority of people I interact with, they're like, oh man, yeah, that's cool. We'll do that together, man. And they never fucking follow up. It's because of several things. Laziness, fear, ADHD. And these are all, for the most part, trained behaviors. Laziness and fear are kind of like a default. So to conserve energy and to protect oneself from threats, that's basically the core functions of the limbic system. Now, a lot of times, in order to the game of evolution is deciding when to listen to that and when not to. So, a lot of times, for example, let's say
I just DM'd your AVC account a meme. I don't know if you can pull it up, but it kind of relates to what I was talking about. It's kind of funny too.
So, okay, for example, exercise. We all fucking know how important exercise is for.
See?
Yeah.
Memes keep the fucking line. I don't care what it is. Hieroglyphics were just the first memes, dude.
Hieroglyphics were actually the first cartoons. So yes, cartoons are literally older than like realism or like realistic art and photographs. I mean, duh,
There was
but yeah.
cave drawings.
So, and even if you do like realistic drawings, like by default the drawing is a cartoon until you start adding like the complex details, like the extra shadows and the textures and whatever. Anyway, so now because of a combination of factors being technology, life being too easy, the lack of necessity of social interactions, as well as increased living standard, meaning that people don't really feel a need to depend on their family members for anything. Basically a lack of mutual oppression. Nothing unites people quicker than mutual oppression. But if you take away the mutual oppression, well, the son wants to do something different than what the father does. The father doesn't want to do things with the wife because the wife is into other shit. And they are all doing their own thing. Why do they really want to? When you put them back together, well, they're just going to fight over stupid shit. So that's what's driving apart families. Is because there is something better to do other than just sit in a fucking hut and hang out with your family because, oh, look at us, we're family. And then fucking, what do? Incest?
Incest.
Right. So maybe, okay, perhaps I'm on the wrong article. So maybe I'm biased because I'm not going to, no, let's not talk about my personal details, but I'm fairly independently minded. I've been single for quite many years. I live alone and I fucking love my life. That's mostly, and I hate to brag, but that's mostly because of my work. Not like day job work, but my effort I put into life in general. The things I value are mostly tied to my individual achievement. If people want to come along the way, that's awesome. But most people don't, because they either can't keep up, or they're just not interested, or they have their own mission in life, which all due respect. So, once again, the environment is always changing, and a evolutionarily fit organism knows how to adapt. We'll read the environment and say, okay, this is what I must do in order to eat, grow, reproduce, and maintain homeostasis. And then I will do it. And then the other group of not evolutionarily fit organisms will say, no, I want the environment to change to me, without having the force or power to actually do so. Now, if you say, no, I want the environment to change to me, and you can fucking bang your multi-ton fist into the ground, create a crater for you to hide yourself in, I mean, congrats, you won the game of evolution. But that requires you to use constant force, which can be chronologically, financially, energetically expensive, and not always sustainable. So the much better option is just simply adapt. Learn how your body works, learn how your brain works, exercise regularly, get good sleep, stay off drugs for the most part. Put down the alcohol and stop spending time with losers. Limit your social interactions to a smaller group of people that you actually give a shit about. And I guess with coworkers, I guess it's a bit hairy since, like, you know, coworkers are kind of your fake friends. But the reason they do that is because people, even if these people don't really actually care about you, they don't want to hate you either. Generally it's better to make friends than enemies. So that's why they just kind of like, they're polite to just breeze along the interaction, to have a good time at work, and then go home and then just go manage their own lives like they're always going to. But still, that is a form of social interaction, even if you don't think it's legitimate. So you have to put out the effort and stop wasting your time with people who don't want to put in the same amount of effort as you. This is how you fix loneliness. So I also personally believe that the human population is going to continue dropping. because of technology, because of modernized living, because of people such a small percentage of the human population can actually create a meaning for their own lives rather than being told to.
We're pushing each other away from each other. So birth rates in the United States dropped really hard after the iPhone and Pornhub came out around the same time. You no longer needed to pursue a woman to, I guess, fulfill your biological needs. And like now you can do it through your phone. Now you don't even have to have friends anymore. You can just talk to AI bots. Now you don't even have to make art anymore. You've just got AI bots. And it's just going to keep getting worse with the Apple's new product where you can like wear your freaking computer on your face everywhere you go. And like the metaverse and like, well, not so much the metaverse. Metaverse sucks, but like VR chat, like you don't even have to leave your house anymore to make friends. You can go into VR chat and go into like whatever world you want to. And just live whatever life you want to be. I think it's going to get even worse if Neuralink ever actually gets up and going. Mm-hmm. And I'm not wearing like a tinfoil hat. These are just facts, man.
Well, they're not facts yet. They're just prospects, and I agree that they're very solid prospects.
Fact.
Well,
look
yes.
look at
no. Hold on. I'm talking about your prospect is in the future. Like, yeah, duh. The iPhone and Pornhub have already been around. I'm talking about your prospective, your speculation of what's going to happen in the future. I agree with you on that. So, I think at this point, I used to take the position that. See. Well, wait and see, like that. That's just like that's part of the I guess you can what I call the you just wait fallacy. But because the only objectively true statement is that okay, well we won't know. And there is a wise man knows he knows nothing, so we can't draw conclusions about anything. But of course, every day you're making assumptions. Every day you're making speculations about what's going to happen later today, what's going to happen next week, next month, next year. Because how the fuck are you going to make any decisions if you don't make an assumption at some point in your 16 waking hours every day?
We could try to counter it, like women that go into, I guess, sex work or porn or OnlyFans or whatever. Like after they're old and can no longer like do it, no one really cares to watch them anymore. We can make it so that that they can't get an actual job if you choose to go down that route.
No, because the demand's still going to be there. So even if you somehow scrub all the internet of porn, which I mean, good luck. If you somehow manage to do that, people are they're just going to have casual sex. You're going to have hookups, and they're still going to be miserable because like just having sex once, and then once you have the post-nut clarity, well, what does that do for you? It's just short-term gratification. It's just hedonism. And not even a sustainable form of hedonism. It's just a one-time pleasure, and then after that, you have a transient crash from the dopamine high.
Like, how do you get people to start talking with each other again? How do you get people socializing with each other?
You have two options. You either don't, which is my preferred option, or you force them to and continue on this artificial human life. The artificial human life that has been this entire time. So my whole point is that okay, most of these people they can't kick themselves in the ass. Sorry, I guess we'll take a break until AG gets back.
Still there?
Yeah, sorry, I just muted myself because I needed some. All right, now that you're back. Okay. So, back to what I was saying earlier. There's two solutions to the problem. I've heard. So, there's two solutions. Either you force people to continue the false human existence, because I firmly believe most humans are filler people. They're all NPCs. They don't really take agency. They don't act intentionally. They don't live their lives intentionally. And they are just waiting for orders for other people. So you either bring back religion, bring back systems of real oppression, unlike the fucking post civil rights era bullshit you see coming from the United States today. Actual oppression, elimination of economic mobility, elimination of consumer choices, elimination of everything you fucking enjoy in your life as a 21st century human being. You take all that shit away and force people back into huts, into a sub-Amish standard of living. Then loneliness is gone. Oh my God! Wow, the world is better, right? No, we're fucking suffering from diseases. We're suffering from drinking shit in our water. We're suffering from famine. We're suffering from injuries that no one can remedy because we eliminated all this technology. Because oh my God, loneliness bad. We need to solve the problem. We should solve the problem. The most fucking dangerous word in the English language. Should. That's how you solve loneliness. Or you accept it. You accept the loss in the human genome. Replace the robots as they rightfully so that the living standard can improve for the small number of people who can make their own lives meaningful. That's the two options. It's a game of evolution. It's an evolutionary pressure. So, and what did I say about facing forces you can't control? You can hunker down, you can grab a surfboard, or you can just stand there and piss and moan and wait to drown in it. It's all your choice. So, this is AVC's guide how to deal with loneliness. Get a fucking hobby. Do something.
I agree.
And the best part is, well, whenever you do something, you start kicking ass, well, friends will just show up. They'll be like, hey, man, that's cool. Can you teach me? And then, there you go. Now you're interacting with people. Problem solved. Not only do you give your own life meaning, you're making friends. What the fuck else do you want? Oh, wait. You want it to happen for free without putting any work. Well, there's your skill issue.
Go to a comedy club and don't be so sensitive. Try to make friends there.
That's a skill that takes many years to develop. And the internet is actually, ironically, a good place to do that. There's so many servers. There's so many fucking Discord servers out there. You could just join a room, just start talking shit. And there's your target practice. You're anonymous. There's no consequence. You could just work on your speech skills. So then you could actually go to a real life comedy club, pick up the mic, and start spitting lines and making people laugh or start roasting people, which is a lot of fun. All it takes is you to put in some fucking effort. And people don't want to do that. And that's why they deserve to die, in my opinion. Not like
clean up your act.
Not necessarily, not even clean up your act. You need to put on an act to clean up in the first place. Most people don't even want to put on that act because they're waiting for instructions. So, in some sense, yeah, I guess I'm giving people instructions. Hey, get off your fucking ass. Do it. But in the end, I'm just some dude. I'm just some asshole on the internet. If I tell you to do something, you have to move your body to go do it, or to open your mouth and say it, or use your brain to think it. That's still your choice. You still have agency in this matter. Whether or not you believe in free will, I don't care to have that fucking debate with you. You could. I offer you chocolate or vanilla ice cream. You can literally pick one cup out of the other. That is a decision-making process. Call it free will. Call it agency. Call it, I don't know, some neurobiological tendency to choose one thing or the other. I don't fucking care. You have a choice on whether or not you want to listen to me or not. You have a choice on whether or not you do what I say for you to do or not. So, and people don't want to do that. So, fuck them. The human race will be better off without these people who can't cope with loneliness. Or better yet, reestablish people in their lives to fight the loneliness. Like seeing a problem and then going to solve it instead of just sitting there and just stewing and suffering in it. Like fucking, I'm not losing sleep over this decreasing population. So
It is an issue.
yeah, there's always going to be issues in life. There's always going to be problems. Someone's always going to be unhappy. There's someone who's lying. There's someone who's stealing. There's someone who probably killed this other person. That's life. And as long as you know how to stay out of it or protect yourself in it, what the hell's the problem? So, anyway, that was very cathartic.
Are we done?
One more topic.
All right.
Plenty more from where that came from. New York City's first safe drug vending machine is replenished with Narcan, fentanyl strips, and condoms. But no more crack pipes after residents ransacked first stash in 24 hours. Oh my god.
Is it free or do you have to pay for it?
Well, it's got. I'm guessing you have to pay for it.
What does it mean by ransacked? Like they broke it open or they paid for
I
it?
guess.
It looks like they just paid for all of it.
That's okay. So
This is okay. So this is what a failing society looks like. This is a lowering of our morals to the point where we're like, okay, we'll just do it as much as you want.
So instead of let them eat cake, it's let them shoot heroin.
Let them shoot heroin.
Yeah, pretty much, dude. Fuck, man. So, all right. So the subheadlines: the machine's contents are free for residents who punch in the right zip code. Oh, so it is free. They offer safe smoking kits with pipes, and we're not talking about like tobacco or weed, or like some easy shit. We're talking about fucking fentanyl. Grind up fentanyl, heat it up in a spoon, and like smoke that shit. Chase
Is
that
it
dragon.
crack pipes?
Or maybe probably crack pipes too.
So all you have to do is type in a zip code and you get it for free?
Yes.
Wow.
Quite the deal, isn't it? Lip balm and mouthpieces. What the fuck are mouthpieces?
This is in New York, right?
So you could so you can be a fancy crack smoker. So like you know those 30s movies where like these like really fancy women, they have like this little mouthpiece to smoke a cigarette, so they don't get they don't ruin their lipstick or whatever.
This is how you're.
This is for a crack pipe, so you can smoke crack and stuff.
This is really just
Jesus.
the state sponsoring drug use. Is really all it is. You're like, yeah, you know how things are shitty. Well, let's just double down and make sure everybody's enjoying living this shitty life, ruining our fucking standards.
It's honestly like it's like talking to like a grandma or like one of your grandparents with really bad dementia. Like that their days are limited, and you're just talking to like a fucking echo of this person that used to exist, that you used to love. And at this point, what's even the point of arguing with them about anything? What's the point of not believing any of their crazy stories? What's the point of hitting them with facts and logic? Because they're about to die. You might as well just enjoy the time that you have together until that person's dead. That's kind of what the government's doing at this point. Like, we can't fix this problem, but we can't kill them either. So you might as well just give them what they want and watch them die. What the fuck can we do? Like, the people are gonna be unhappy regardless. At least with this, you can like give them. You can fucking give people. Again, the West is so fucking addicted to virtue signaling. You can give something to jerk off their virtue dicks to. Be like, oh my god, look at us. We're giving safe depots for people to safely use drugs and use condoms. Oh, I'm so virtuous. That's what this whole thing's about. Seriously. What the? That's all it's for. It's just giving
That would be funny
a soft
if New
bed.
York got worse than San Francisco.
They're just giving a safe bed for the terminal patient to die on. Like, if you're just getting all this money funneled in from like federal resources as a New York City governor, why the fuck wouldn't you do it at this point? Make the druggies and the bums happy while they die, and make the Karens looky like, oh my god, so virtuous.
Well, there is
It's
Narcan
brilliant.
in there, so
There is
they're trying
Narcan,
to keep them
yes.
alive to keep the fucking.
So I think what's
Keep
gonna
the
happen is
economy
that they're all fucking empty, and who's gonna refill them? Like, who takes this shit seriously and actually is going to refill them? Nobody.
Is it a company that stocks it, or is it the state that
I
stocks it?
think it's the state. It says public health vending machine. Like probably the state like subcontracts like the machine and the maintenance to a couple companies, and then they just like and the company's like, okay, well we'll fill it whenever we get into it, and the government's like, okay, and then the government's gonna be like, hey, the machines are empty, can you refill them? And then the vending machine company's like, oh, we're short hands, we'll get to it shortly, and the government's like, okay, and it's just gonna stay empty. So, this is just oh man, this is fucking funny. So I don't. Do we even need to read the? Oh, okay. Actually, you know what? The article's gonna be interesting. Let's just bang it out real quick. So each tray on the machine holds between 13 and 18 products, which are free for the public to take. Kwashi, who the fuck is Kwashi? Okay, no, I'm sorry. Let's start at the beginning. New York City's first public health vending machine giving out free crack pipes, condoms. They just say, not just so the headline starts with smoking kits with pipes, which you could be anything from like a tobacco or weed pipe to fucking straight up crack. And then you're just like, nope, first public health vending machine giving out free crack pipes, condoms, and Narcan. An overdose reversing drug was already empty in less than 24 hours after being unveiled by officials. But eager city officials determined to keep residents a rich supply of clean drug apparatus were quick to revisit the site on Tuesday afternoon with more. So they are refilling it. Ellen Kwashi, the opioid overdose program director at Services for the Underserved, said, "We're going to restock every day, probably multiple times a day." He said that he was not surprised that the items were taken so quickly, adding, "I kind of knew that they would go." He restocked 5 trays of naloxone and 2 trays of fentanyl testing kits, and said that he'll be returning later to refill the machine with other products. Okay, so one of the politicians, no, he's not even a politician. He's some kind of like public service group, like fucking. I guess it's what's a good example? Like I guess like
you know
AA.
what the community needs?
Mm.
They need products to make sure that the drugs they're using aren't tainted with fentanyl, and they need free crack pipes. We need to get them a vending machine. Get on it.
No, this is even like a. Who are these city officials? Opioid overdose program director at Services for the Underserved. So this is like the fucking Southern Poverty Law Center, or kind
This
of like
is just gonna make it worse.
It's just a grassroots. It's a grassroots organization. It's not the government. It's like a local relief. What the fuck do you call like an AA and the SPLC? What do you call these kind of groups? They're not the government, but it's some
charities. I don't fucking know.
I guess kind of a charity, yeah. Like their whole existence is literally virtue signaling.
This is just gonna make it worse. Like, yeah, you could potentially die, but you could have your buddy with the Narcan just to give you a quick hit, fam.
So what's gonna happen is that so you give them an out, or you give them something to prevent them from dying. Then they're just gonna do more. They're just gonna do more drugs and still find a way to overdose. Like that's just biology. You got to knock yourself back out of homeostasis because you've grown tolerant to like 15 units of this drug. Now you got to go to 20, then 30, then 50, then 100 until overdose inevitably happens.
Narcan's not a for sure way to save you. It can bring you back, but you could also continue overdosing after you've been.
Yeah, or you could just do more. On the state's dollar, I'm sure.
You could do more, but whenever they give you Narcan, they try to get you to the hospital as quickly as possible because you could have another overdose.
Mm-hmm. And that's when you wait to get out so you can get high again.
Yeah.
And I don't know, steal a bunch of bikes and shit to fucking buy more heroin.
You know what? This is some pussy shit. They just need to start handing out the fentanyl. Just start handing out the fentanyl.
Yeah, fucking double down. Like don't do that pussy ass Logan Paul bullshit. Like, oh, you want drugs? Fucking here you go, more drugs, free. Go nuts.
10 times the lethal dosage of fentanyl.
And imagine the fucking twist that people were like, "No, I will not stand with the government on these free drugs they're giving me. I'm going to go clean and get a job." Like just as an act of spite, they fucking pull their lives together. Oh, this is the best comedy. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Okay, each tray holds about 13 to 18 products which are free You just punch in a zip code, you get free shit. Kwashi, who worked for the non-profit agency, carried the additional supplies and Trader Joe's reusable bags. So, okay, now, here's the fucking funny part. So it's not even the government causing the problem now, or feeding into the problem now. It's the nonprofits. Can you believe that shit? So, the words "poor choices" were chalked on the sidewalk directly outside the machine. The program director stood on the etched words as he unlocked the vending machine, which is kept at room temperature for the products. Kwashi added, quote, "We get a lot of positive feedback from the people, and they were happy to see that it was free. So we had an idea that some of the selections were going to go growing so quickly." Speaking about the restock, he added, "I would maybe estimate that twice a day, depending on what items are going more quickly than others. Hopefully all the items go at equal speed. Give it another week and we'll have some trends." So one disgruntled resident who can see the vending machine from her bedroom window complained that it should be put in the lobby of one of the resource buildings rather than on the street.
Yeah, just fucking put it in where the hell they're living.
No, it's Nimba, not in my back alley. That's what it's fucking coming to at this point.
No drug use in my back alley. Take it to the Chinatown.
She also said that it could be a hazard for children walking past who may think the drug paraphernalia machine is stocked with candy.
It's not gonna have fucking drugs in it though.
Oh my god. But if you put it inside, then how are the bums gonna like see it and be like, "Oh my god, I shot way too much fucking fentanyl," and he's just
that's fucking stupid. Well, what's the point? You're like, oh well, you just need to move it inside so the kids don't get it. It's like, well, what is a kid gonna do with it? Are you handing kids drugs now too?
I think the other idea is that, okay, well, they're gonna hang around the machine because that's like a bum hangout, right? And they're just gonna, at least it keeps it inside like the government buildings instead of like on the street. So it's something that's one less ugly thing to look at.
Well, as long as you're I guess a quote unquote minority, there pretty much isn't any law or laws not enforced in New York of drug use. I'm guessing because they just let anybody out.
Mm-hmm. A law without enforcement is not in law anymore. It just doesn't exist. Who gives a shit, right?
Yeah.
So the initial $11,000 taxpayer money is for the machine, but not for the daily restocks. She added, "It's lit up at night. Yes, it is. Last night it looked like a candy machine."
We live in a cyberpunk dystopian future.
Oh my god!
Get some neon lights on that bitch.
You just get a fucking get that water pistol looking gun that has like 20 shots before it's disposable.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
I need to play Cyberpunk again.
I probably should too, but I won't. Representative from SUS, what the fuck? Restock. Oh, service for the underserved. Representatives from service to the underserved restocked the machine for the second time on Tuesday, but only with condoms and fentanyl testing kits and naloxone. They did not restock any crack pipes.
Yeah.
God, the machine in
was it because they ran out, or was it just like a?
I think that they're doing this to keep face. The machine in Brownsville, Brooklyn, is the first of its kind in the Big Apple. The city's Democrats hailed it as a watershed, a public health moment yesterday, calling a press conference to tout the initiative and promise more down the line. So here's this fucking, God, what a virtuous hero, restocking all the I guess the not crack pipes this time in this public health vending machine. So I guess it isn't on state law. So it's service for the underserved. They cobbled together $11,000 to pay a vending machine company to build this thing and then just put it out on the street. Oh my god. So to access the machine's contents, the residents simply had to punch in the right zip code. Then they'll have free access to the strips, Narcan, condoms, tampon, nicotine gum, first aid kits, and the safer smoking kits. End quote. The sanitary pads, vitamin C, and COVID-19 tests. What the? It's fucking over. What the fuck do you? Oh my god. Officials hope to put syringes in the next one.
Oh my God.
By 9 a.m. on Tuesday. God,
You know,
it just
this is
gets...
a really good Darwinism at this point.
It
I'm all
is.
for it. I'm all for it.
So
I'm all
what's
for it.
funny is
If you could
that, like...
eliminate your poverty class so you don't have to worry about so many homeless people now because they're all going to be overdosing, I think this is actually kind of genius.
It's either
You're making
hidden
it easier for
genius.
them to overdose.
Look, sometimes it's so stupid it's brilliant, right?
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Or maybe this is Sparta. I don't know. I'm so you know, it's hard to say, like, okay, this service for the underserved, is it like, do they actually believe that they're
They
fucking
might as
doing
well just
something?
have like 2 or 3 ambulances hanging out right next to it, just across the street. Because as soon as
No,
they
that
get them
costs way
out,
too
they
much.
just like over.
That costs way too fucking much.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
You've never seen an ambulance just kind of like chill in different places,
Not
especially
where
at
I'm
like big
at.
events.
Not where
Well,
I'm
anyway,
at.
a lot of times they won't be like in like the forefront, but they'll be like at like a major event in case someone gets hurt or whatever.
Okay, yeah, right,
You
where
know,
they
that could
expect
be
some
like the
shit to
major event.
happen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, shit's gonna go down right next to the free fucking crack pipe and syringe machine.
It's one machine, and it's $11,000. I don't think it's big enough for that. But the fact that makes the news, I mean, it's just so. Oh god, that just speaks in volumes by itself. So again, I can't tell if the service for the underserved, like this organization, I don't know if like they're actually stupid enough to believe that they're actually making a difference, like improving something in the world, or if they are just they know what's going on. They know what we know. They have the same attitude. Be like, you know what, just fucking give them a show while they die, and just cash in on the so-called nonprofit in the meantime. So, I don't know. What was it? Okay, what was that? So officials hope to put syringes in the next one. I don't know if they're talking about government officials or like service for the underserved officials, but okay. 9 a.m. on Tuesday, less than 24 hours after it was first displayed, all of the crack pipes have been taken. The priority items are. Oh man. Jeez. Gone too were the condoms, the COVID tests, and the nicotine gum. All that was left was a few fentanyl testing strips. Oh my god. They're not even like, bro, I just need one more fix. I'm gonna quit eventually. Like, nope, fuck it. I don't need to test myself. I know I fucking pop positive. I don't give a shit. I'm not here to find a job.
Is it for testing the drugs or testing themselves for fentanyl?
Well, what the fuck you need the strips for? Like, okay, so like if you're hiring people, like you're gonna pay for your own drug test as a company.
Well,
Why the fuck would you go to this? There's one vending machine in New York for this thing.
The whole thing behind fentanyl is that they'll take drugs and they'll cut it. They'll try to make more money off of less drugs by taking, say, like a brick of.
Oh, you use the strip to test your drug rather than test yourself.
And then you add fentanyl to it to make it stronger, so you could sell or smaller portions of it for more. But they don't use any like math or any kind of like weighing or any good measurements. It's just kind of like a roll of a dice if you're gonna get a lethal dose or not.
Jeez. Well, people like to live dangerously, it seems.
Yeah, one pill kills, dude. One pill kills.
Jeez. Especially when you fucking smoke it or snort it, right? Oh my god. Anyway, so residents of the Housing Authority building,
it's just poison, dude.
Residents of the Housing Authority building where the machine was placed have mixed feelings about it. One man who declined to give his name but said he lived in the community said after being asked if he could take anything from the machine, quote, that machine shouldn't be there. The resource building is right there. That is not resources. You're better off moving that gate and parking the ambulance right there, he said. Like you said.
I told you.
Yeah, oh my god.
That'd be good business for the hospital too. Just set up shop right fucking next to it, dog.
Don't. What was the saying? So like, and the richest people who came out of the gold rush weren't the miners. They were the people selling shovels. Maybe they're onto something. Oh my god. Bushwick Bushwich local Minoshi Caplay 56 is in favor of the machine. She's shown retrieving her free fentanyl test kit today. Quote, people are just trying to get high. They're not trying to die. We need this, she told dailymail.com.
Fucking stupid.
One woman of unknown, I guess it's a woman. One woman, look at that fucking haircut. That's like the fucking Phineas. What's that? One of those characters in Phineas and Ferb. Whatever, you guys. One woman who lives in East New York and is visiting her son in the neighborhood said that she purposely made her way to the vending machine on Tuesday to pick up supplies to help others. She said, I'm going to help and assist them drug users with it. That's what we do. We help each other. So, Minoshi Kaplay continued, I had to stay out there to make sure she was okay. Everything is bootleg now. The drugs aren't real anymore, and it doesn't even burn bright. Why are we smoking that anymore?
They're real. They're just laced with fentanyl because they're trying to make more money off of it.
Oh my god.
They're very real. They're laced with poison to try to make more money off of it.
Right. Kaplay, who lives a few blocks from the new vending machine, admitted that she's a drug user. Damn, she's looking pretty good for a fucking crack smoker. Like, come on. She looks like just some innocent black grandma, and apparently she's a fucking crackhead. Wow. She has too many teeth. I don't know. That seems like cap, bro. Ugh. So Capley admits that she's a drug user and would have taken a crack pipe if there was one available. The mom of 6. So this innocent looking black grandma is a crackhead and 6 kids. Holy shit. God damn. Oh wow. God.
Multitasking.
Akimbo, fucking. She's moving up 2 skill. She's progressing two different branches of her skill tree. Oh god. The mom said about the drug pipes in the machine. It depends on what kind it is. No, excuse me. It depends on what kind it is. It depends on what you got.
How long will it take before we get government drug machines, where it's like government safe levels of dosages?
Fuck it, next year.
Next year?
June 2024,
right.
We're calling it.
I'm all for it.
Oh my god. I'm mad that I didn't even get to see the good stuff. She then plugged in her zip code and took one of the remaining fentanyl testing kits. As she watched the machine drop her test into the base so she could pick it up, Cuplay muttered, "Come on, baby." By 11:30 a.m., the only products left were 2 fentanyl testing kits.
The early bird gets the crack pipe. I don't know what else to tell you.
Fucking joke. Oh god.
She's not a real grandma if she's not there like fucking as soon as they stock it, so.
She's out there for the early bird special. Oh my god, this is just... Oh Jesus. Oh my god, why the fuck is there vitamin C in there? Oh, as she retrieved her fentanyl test kit and the last remaining packet of overdose-busting drug naloxone, she said, "It's wonderful. It's a wonderful idea. They should have this in every neighborhood." Tim Brady, 64, lives in the apartment building across from the vending machine, said, "At first I was against it, but now I see it where it takes preventative measures. I wish we could do more to prevent fentanyl and drugs from coming in, but they are here and we're not going to be able to stop them." So at least they can do what they're doing and practice it safely. I'm not promoting it. I can't say I like it, but I kind of like the message that it's sending. It's unfortunate that we're in this situation. He said that half the residents inside the building where the vending machine were, quote, strung out on drugs. The contents may be free for residents, but each machine will cost the city $11,000. It's unclear of how they're planned.
This is what you voted for. I mean, you asked for it. I don't know what else to tell you. You asked for less laws. You asked for less policing. You asked for all that, and now you're getting the consequences. So learn from it.
Quote, we are in the midst of an overdose crisis in our city, which is taking a fellow New Yorker from us every 3 hours and is a major cause of falling life expectancy in New York City. Health Commissioner Dr. Ashwin Vasan said proudly yesterday.
Good.
But we will continue to fight to keep our neighbors and loved ones alive with care, compassion, and action. We'll leave no stone unturned until we reverse the trends in opioid-related deaths in our city. But some of the city residents and Republicans are against their tax dollars being spent on facilitating drugs use. This, my friends, is
you got the fentanyl testing kits, you got the crack pipes. Just put up another machine right next to it that gives you a safe level of fucking heroin or whatever, safe levels of fucking crack.
But then you grow tolerant and you need to increase your dose to get high again. Yeah. But okay. But some
just more Narcan. Just have a Narcan strip with it.
But some city residents and Republicans are aghast that their tax dollars are being spent on facilitating drug use. This, my friend,
fucking voted for it.
Okay, hold on. I reread the sentence I already read. This, my friends, is another reason why Democrats run cities are hellholes, said one. Get your free crack pipes courtesy of taxpayers. Insanity. New York City vending machine offers free Narcan drug test strips. What could go wrong? Said another. Quote, I guess no one eats candy bars anymore. Remember when Narcan was supposed to be only used by trained professionals? Asked another jaded New Yorker. Quote, these people are morons. They give away crack pipes, needles will be next, and Narcan. How about just give away the Narcan?
Narcan has to be kept at certain temperatures, otherwise it won't work.
How about just give away the Narcan and not the crack pipe and needles, another fumed? So here's just a bunch of fucking Twitter posts. Who gives a shit? Oh, man. Oh, that's so fucking funny. That's better comedy than fiction. Holy shit. Man.
I think we're done with this topic.
Yeah, we're done. All right, let's look at this. Let's take a quick look at this chick in the bikini. So she says that she's putting on a show for her neighbors on fucking TikTok. Wow.
Cool.
Holy shit, this lady's got boobies. What the fuck?
Do they look natural?
I don't know. I don't see. Okay, no big titties here. That's disappointing.
All right. Thank you all for watching, and we will enjoy you all in the next one. That is the end of the stream. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, send money, join the OnlyFans.
Don't let mom find the poop sock.
Don't let mom find the poop sock. Oh, and if you're lonely, go out and fucking get a new hobby and socialize. That's your fucking answer. Try to find people that care. Maybe join a religion group. Get some close friends. Go fishing. Find a fishing buddy. You know, I don't go fishing for like the enjoyment of fishing. I go for like the fun time that you enjoy with someone else. That's the answer. So don't forget the Narcan, fam. On your fishing trip, y'all just shooting up heroin.
Punch in code AVC for a 15% discount.
Yeah, punch in code AVC for a 15% discount on your
free fucking Narcan.
On your free fucking Narcan on your next fishing trip, so that you and your buddy can enjoy your fucking high while you fish.
Fucking Christ! All right, bye bye.
You're all.